hit this here. But
Okay, so in this movie, the guy buys something, and the guy says, "When did you get that?" And he said, "When I had the money."
when I had the money,
Yeah, when I got the money.
I don't know what that would mean. I don't know what movie that is.
We'll look it up while we're chatting.
How are you gonna look that up? You gonna just type that in?
Yeah, you just type
I,
in quote.
what movie is it when he goes, "I won the money. I won
I,
the money.
I don't remember that.
The money. I won the money." And then he goes, kills over.
I don't know.
I
That's
won the
probably
money. And then, like, as he's dead, okay, I'll give you a clue.
gotta be one.
Chevy Chase walks up to him to check and see if because the guy passed out. And then he's like, "The money. I won the money. I
So
won the money."
is that Caddyshack?
No. How about any viewers out there? We're live on YouTube, Facebook, and if you're listening in the car to the audio version, take a guess. I'll give you some time. I won the money. I won the money.
Okay.
The money. Chevy Chase movie. Episode 223, by the way. Or is it 224?
I think it's 224.
224. I think I screwed up the heading on the
You
I
can
did.
edit it.
Oh, 224. I got it right. Okay.
There you
Cool.
go.
Episode 224. Radio Impound Podcast. Radio Impound. Remember I did that once? I was like, Radio Impound, and I didn't want to edit the show, but you're like, well, you got to edit now. I'm like, you know what? I don't have to edit now. I'm going to leave it in. Radio Pound.
People think that there's something wrong with the feed.
Is my Walkman skipping? So yeah, we were talking. I won the money. No comments here. I won the money. What movie is that from? And I gave a clue. Chevy Chase walked up to the guy to check on him, and then he goes, "The money. I won the money."
I should know this if it's Chevy Chase too.
Oh, we got a winner in the comment section here.
Oh,
we have a winner. We'll give Jason another.
I can see it in the comments.
30. Oh, he can see the. I forgot. Oh, Vegas Vacation. That's correct. Good job, Mitchell.
Baby, I'm ready to go.
The money. So did you find out what movie you were talking about?
Nope, not yet.
So speaking of movies, next week I think you're around next week, right? You're going. Where are you going this weekend?
We got a Super Cup this weekend on Saturday. That's in Newberry RC Park. So we'll be doing that.
Okay.
Should be a good race.
So if Jason's around next weekend, we're gonna do a show, and we're gonna do a watch along with Commando.
Yep.
So I got this Blu-ray version. This is the director's cut, and I got the Blu-ray because I bought the director's cut off Amazon, the digital version. Okay. But I got the Blu-ray because it has the commentary from the directors and producers. So I want to watch that, take some notes, and then when we get on the show next time, we're gonna just do a Commando episode. We're gonna go Commando, and just do like a watch along and spit out some interesting facts about the movie, stuff like that. So you're listening on audio later on. You can, if you want, watch Commando and listen to us talk about it.
Yeah.
So
great movie.
Jimmy Simmons says, "Get to the chopper."
Not a chance.
Yeah. So you didn't find out what movie you were talking about. And what was the quote again?
When did you get that? When I had the money.
And it was a comedy.
I think so.
All right. That's not much to go on, so I don't think
it's very little to go on.
Right. Yeah. All right. Back from Oregon on the Northwest Carpet Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
How'd we do? And you raced.
I did race.
The 40-plus class.
And two-wheel mod.
What'd we do?
Brock Champlin won the two mega classes, I guess you could say, 2-wheel mod, 4-wheel mod. And we had Jovi Levin won 13.5 4-wheel, and Davey Bata won 2-wheel drive 17.5 buggy. So he won those two, and then 13.5 stadium truck was won by Jovi. So Jovi won 2 classes. His upcoming J Concepts Team Associated driver, making a kind of a little run of different events here. He did the race in Vegas. He did the race, of course, here in Oregon. He did. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sure he'll be at OCRC this weekend running, doing a lot of racing. Then, of course, we got Davey Bata, who he's been really, really good over there on the West Coast, running a lot of different events. His dad and him, they have their own track, Coyote Hobbies, and they have an event there June. I want to say it's 1st through the 3rd is their like midsummer shootout, I believe it's called. And we're going to send some people out there this year to the midsummer shootout. So a lot of people do go to their events, so that's something that's coming up. I guess it'd be the midsummer. So, yeah, NCTS there in Oregon. I've never flown in. I don't believe I've ever flown into Portland before. So we flew in there, drove to Albany.
And boy, was his arms tired.
Yep. Flying. I get it.
All right. Okay.
So flew in there, drove to Albany, got set up at the hotel, set up at the track. And, I sent you guys photos over the weekend because, the track is one of the rare tracks that is in a mall. And It used to be a Sears store. So you can imagine how huge this place was. I want to say they said it's like 98,000 square feet or something like that.
Jeez.
So gigantic place. They're still not using all of it. And track was brand new for us. They had the little smaller off-road track near the doors we were coming in and out of, and they decided to make a little larger one for our race, and as their permanent, what they're calling, I don't know, expert pro track, whatever they want to call it. So first time running on there, new carpet, jumps, new carpet on those. We had mod live media with Matt Olson there covering it, people watching that. The hero drivers of the weekend were Brock Champlin, Dakota Fenn, Spencer Rivkin. They were the 3 top level guys. And then we had Harley Yoshi ended up getting 3rd, I believe, in 4-wheel. And then they call them Hot Pockets. But
Hot Pockets. I used to love Hot Pockets.
Ryan,
I can't eat them anymore, though. I'd be in trouble.
So Ryan, he got 3rd in 2-wheel. Spencer had kind of some rough mains, didn't able to podium, a little bit unusual for him, I guess you could say. Didn't have a great weekend, but he just came off. We talked about last week. He was just at PMB. He won 2 of the 3 classes there. So, and the race we had before that in Vegas, he won 1 of 2. So,
Vegas vacation.
As I was talking to Brock about
money,
he had mentioned to me in one of our discussions, you can't win them all. And I was like, could it be more cliche than saying you can't win them all? Is there a more cliche saying than you can't win them all? Maybe anybody listening, they can type up their personal favorites, but you can't win them all has to be really high.
Yeah.
As a cliche. So, but that is very true. You definitely can't. I don't know anybody that's won them all. Even Tom Brady hasn't won them all. Even Michael Jordan hasn't won them all.
Kyle
and
says,
as Pat Riley says, Pat Riley was saying, typically you lose more than you win. So when he was comparing his teams, Miami, the Lakers, the New York teams, he always talked about, he's like, he's like, I had a hell of a run on the Lakers, but we still didn't win the championship more than we won it. He's
Right.
like, so he's like, you technically,
You lost more than you won.
yeah. So you gotta cherish those moments when you win, and if you're winning more than you're losing, you're definitely in a very rare air.
Right. I would have never got that out. Very rare error. Okay, I just did. All right, Kyle says, Jason Rhoda, did the team use the new carpet tires this weekend?
We did not, because it's a controlled tire race. So we were already set up to run Nessie rear tires and the Swagger fronts, which was a great combination for the track. I mean, I can't really even describe how easy the tire program was there. We've talked before how the dirt races now we get close to, or running slicks most of the time, there is some prep there, doing some sanding or sauce routines and sometimes heat cycles and all the stuff that sometimes the guys get into. But here it was, you mounted a new set and don't do anything to them, and you just go out and run until you feel like you should mount another set, which when the carpet is new, the tires don't wear that much. When carpet gets old is when tires start to wear. So in this situation, we were on pretty fresh carpet, and I mean, I was 11, 12 runs in on tires, and they still look good. I gave him the Joe Pillars when the race was over. He bagged them up, and they're gonna become his club race tires. So I had three total sets when the weekend was over. I ran 2 classes, 40 plus and 2 Bill Mod, and I had 3 complete sets. And I gave them all to Joe when they're done. And the ones I ran in the mains look brand new, and the other 2 look really good. So he's got some, and I think Brent might have gave him his tires too. So Joe's set up for a little while.
Yeah, a lot of people checking in. Kyle Layton checking in. We are doing well. Thank you, Kyle.
Rip, Kyle, he just sent me a prize to Jay. It's not a prize. It's a present. He sent us a present to JC the other day.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. I'll have to take a picture of it here soon when we get it plugged in. It's a light that says J Concepts on it. Pretty cool.
Oh, nice. What else we got here? RC Kevin going on live later tonight in French. Yeah, but enjoy the recording. We'll listen later. Yeah, I tried checking out your podcast there. I noticed right away that I wasn't understanding what was going on. But
you listened to the whole thing anyway.
Yeah, I did. I had it in the background anyway, so that way you get the YouTube view and minutes or whatever.
Yeah,
whatever.
He was helping you in the monetization side of things.
Kevin, shoot me the name of your podcast again. Jay wants to know, where's your practice Allen Iverson shirt at, Gotti? It's somewhere in my closet. I should pull that out for the next episode.
He's wearing his J Concepts gear today.
Yeah, I got my J. This is a requirement by Jason now.
Yeah, you went full.
Went full J Concepts. Well, I mean, you sent me all the gear, so now I got to get a new car. Like Kirby got a new car. I got to get a new car now, so I can use the license plate.
The new screws.
License plate screws.
Mm-hmm. The other thing we're making is a titanium shorty antenna for your car.
Oh.
So it's going to kind of match the screws a little bit. And
okay.
So I'm going to thread that on the my truck, and we're going to have a pretty cool antenna to match the screws. So we got some cool stuff.
I like it. So I think that would work. So it's just going to be a short antenna.
Yeah, I think it's mainly, I think the antennas that come with some of these vehicles, I think, are meant for transmitting or receiving for normal radio stations and stuff like that. But I think a lot of times, like my truck, I put a shorty antenna in it. All it is an aluminum tube threaded in there, and I just use I just use like satellite radio and stuff, or listen to my phone through the car. So, but it seems to work good even when I listen to a regular radio station. It works fine. So
Kirby Hand checks in and says the license plate bolts are 7XL approved.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. So 7XL approved. That means it's
And
cool.
that's
enough for
not
you.
the size of the T-shirt he wears. That is in reference to his championships.
7 national championships.
Remember when I
Maybe-
saw that? Remember when I saw that semi that had a 7XL decal on it, and it wasn't the Kirby one, but it looked just like it. I took a picture of it a long time ago. We were driving somewhere, and
Yeah, I don't remember that. I know there was a small car, a SUV, that was XL7, I believe. Was it a Suzuki or something? I don't know. I have to look it up. I'll do that later. Rob wants to know, show us your pliers. Gotti, show us your pliers.
yeah, that was a new release from us last week, I believe, were the new pliers, and
I should have had that up behind me.
that's okay.
Jason didn't send me pliers, Rob.
Yeah, he doesn't need those.
Yeah, I don't need them. Yeah. That's it. Pete Phillips chiming in. It was the Suzuki XL7. There it is, Jason.
Pete's always he comes in clutch with a lot of things.
He does.
Remember the truck stop stuff, and
Yeah. Very knowledgeable that there Pete is.
yeah, if it has to do with the vehicle, trucks, or restaurant locations, Pete's our guy.
Yeah. We can always count on him. Kirby's checking in. He confirms what Pete said. So we
Kirby's
definitely-
on it too.
Yeah.
Got Kirby Puckett there on his profile photo.
I remember the first time I saw that Kirby.
Kirby Puckett.
No, the XL7, and I was like, "What the?"
Yeah, I mean, I'd be curious if it ever gets litigious between Kirby and Suzuki.
Yeah. Boy, I don't know if I. You want to take a stab at that?
Is he part of our 11 listeners? This might be. We might have not have factored this in.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's part of that. Czar. I'm just gonna go with the middle name there. Love your show. Watching from Malaysia. Wow, what time is it in Malaysia right now? I gotta check this out. What do you think the time is there, Jason? Huh?
It's probably like.
Got any guess?
It's like probably a.
Hey.
It's probably a full. 12 hours.
Malaysia is 7:27 a.m. Thursday morning.
There you go.
Dang. Well, thanks for joining us this early in the morning.
It's a whole day.
Wow. Can I get those Powerball numbers in my way?
Yeah.
Somebody down your territory there, I think, in Florida won. 23 years old. He won $230 million.
That's exactly what he needs.
Yeah, I know. If I got that much money when I was 23, look out. It would have been all. I would have never made it to 24.
Cocaine wouldn't have stand a chance.
I'd have went totally full-blown hill. Kirby says he's very happy. They did not name it 7XL.
Yeah, it
Well,
was a
Kirby, they couldn't do that. We would have sued them.
yeah.
So
They
knew.
They looked up the.
They knew better. All right, great.
So yeah, moving to the next race here.
Go ahead.
Kyle Chasen, he kind of brought up the next comment, which is RC Drag Racing. They had a big race over the weekend at Don Garlett's Museum, which is in Ocala, about an hour from us. We had Rich out there from J Concepts, and ran some video. We were talking earlier, one of the videos on our Facebook page that Rich put up. It's got a million views on our Facebook page from Russ Bryant versus Dustin Spallone, who Dustin's on here watching. You got to look this up, Dustin. It's you versus Russ. It's got 1 million views on our Facebook page.
Wow.
5,500 likes. Pretty amazing. I just bumped into that when I was looking for a photo for Gotti. But yeah, that was at Don Garlett's. We had several people come from out of town, including Russ Bryant and Old Man Billy. Came from up in Michigan area. And AJ won the pro street class, which was kind of cool. He was running our new prototype Firebird body, which hasn't come out yet, but Rich was able to bring a handful of them to the event. So guys that wanted to get the Firebird, the new Firebird, were able to run it there, which was pretty cool. So should be able to get that out here in the next couple weeks. So the drag race went pretty well. I want to say somewhere that I saw that they had like 208 cars. I don't know if that's right. That seems like a lot, but so
Yeah.
here it is.
We got Mike checking in saying it's the only game in town around here. No on-road or off-road allowed. Lockdown.
Yeah, so he's got some drag racing to do, and I see Jason Santos is at KFC. Maybe we can get him some chicken strips or something.
Yeah, sure. Grab us one of the. Just get us a bucket of chicken, fried chicken. That'd be great.
Yeah, there you go. Dustin Spallone, 230 plus entries. That's amazing. Considering I thought the promotion for the race was just kind of like so. Like I didn't even know that it was happening until maybe a couple weeks before, and maybe I just wasn't paying quite attention, but they definitely drew a big crowd there. So that's going to be happening again. The Gator Nationals, they call it. RC Gator Nationals. Dustin Spallone was doing well. Like I said, he's got his car working a little better. I think he tried the Firebird also. Russ Bryant, he did well. Look at Pete. Drag Racing Monster Trucks, May 2nd in Houston. Let's go.
What race is that?
I don't know if it has a name. Maybe Pete will tell us the name of that one. So that was the race at Garletts. And of course, you're in Florida. You're going to have some weather issues here and there.
No rain or anything.
But they said they waited out a lot of rain, and they'd get the track back going. They'd blow it off and then torch it with like one of those big torches and get it all dried up. They'd reapply the I believe they're putting VHT down. It was a prepped event. That's usually the RCDRL events are prepped. And I mean, what can you say? The turnout speaks for itself. Now we talked about before, we got Pro Street, we got True Street, and then there's Street Eliminator. So there's 3 classes that are basically just based off of these cars that have just become popular. I always like to say this, we got into about 4.5 years ago, but just recently became all the rage. So
Dustin says flip-flops quickly became the attire for many after the rains flooded the pits. Wow. Okay.
What's funny is that's I believe that's 2 weekends in a row that Dustin's had to deal with the rain. He did the real monster truck event I went to. I believe that was last week, the week before. And they got a lot of rain out there. I happened to do the dry day on Friday, but Dustin was out there Saturday and Sunday slipping and sliding and cleaning mud off a real monster truck. So he definitely got down and dirty over there.
Maybe it's Dustin. Brings the rain cloud with him.
It could be.
Which actually I have to look up the name of this. There's a video game coming out, and you're a rain cloud, and your whole objective is to just rain on people's, picnics, rain on their parade, right? And I got to find the name of that, but that's pretty interesting. Yeah, maybe there's an RC drag race that you can go over to, just go and rain on it.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. The name of it.
So a little further up, we had what did I see here? Oh, it was from Chris Van Air said, "Am I going to run my front wheel drive buggy this weekend?" Sorry, Chris, I sold it. So
Oh, you sold your front wheel
I
buggy?
sold my front wheel drive buggy. Yeah, I kind of go on like a rampage every now and then, and I just start selling stuff because
Yeah,
I'm over it.
sneakers.
Yeah, I just start selling stuff because I'm like, all right, too much of this. Let's get rid of it. I start selling stuff. Yeah, get off the carpet.
Yeah, Kirby says, Gotti, aren't the track owners upset that you're sitting on a track? Nah, they gave me permission to come out here. I got my table out here and stuff. Jason left me behind. I actually showed up to the race right at the end, the last day main. I showed up late, and here I am. I'm stuck out here.
You're like Scott Hughes. You got there right at the end.
Yeah, Jason got. I didn't realize it, but Jason got me a one-way ticket.
Well, at first it was 2 tickets to paradise, but you didn't realize yours was
Yeah,
yours was one way.
it was a one-way ticket to paradise.
So we had another race in the Northwest. Adam Drake ran the Northwest Arena Championship, and he came away with 2 wins there for J Concepts. So pretty cool. Was pretty happy.
It's the tires, man.
Yep, Drake's continuing those winning ways. People or JQ or one of the guys, they have a little fun joke with him that he's Captain Club Race, but
Captain Club Race.
Yeah, that's their.
Oh man,
they were.
He's out there promoting.
They would bag on him that he runs so many club races, and it's like what they don't really realize is, that's why he's winning.
Well,
you're winning on the track.
Right.
You can win in life, and there's a lot of all 3 of those. I didn't say the third one, but there's 3 things there, and if he's winning at all 3 of those, so
yeah, but it's cool that he's showing
sponsorship, promotion, and
right. Exactly.
so and it's not just club races, but this is obviously a travel race. He went in, he did a what do they call it when you go in and he does his like the training, the seminar.
Oh, the seminars. Yeah, the Adam Drake.
Yeah, he did one of those before the race started.
Seminar.
Which people love it when Adam does those.
So, I mean,
yeah, what's funny is, I think what happens is people will take shots at different guys depending on the events that they.
Oh, so they were okay.
Win or don't win, and some people they run a lot of club racing and they win a lot of club races. So a clinic, yeah, that's Keenan. So, but yeah, I think there's a little.
I think Keenan's here.
I think it's a little in jest that they call Adam Captain Club Race, and it's in fun, but at the same time, sometimes the fun part gets a little carried away. But you're talking about a successful RC guy, so world final, what is it, 2 or 3 Roar National Championships. He's coming up on the Kinwald record of 6,487 club race wins, which I made that up.
Get up what? Guys, keeping track of that.
I mean, that could be said. Kinwald could be said it was a Captain Club Race guy too, because he ran. I believe we talked about this because I posted a photo of Kinwald a while back, and my joke was we were at the track down in Tucson. We were in Tucson, Arizona, and I was there for a club race and Kinwald won. So I took a picture of him and I said, "Hey, congrats to Brian on his 5,700." I just made up some number, and and just like you were saying, somebody goes in there and goes, "Holy cow, 5,000 something wins, at a club race," and I'm like, "Nah, I just made that up." And then like other guys like Jason Coral and guys that raced with him said, "Hey, I don't think you're that far off." Like he's like, considering, yeah, Oscar has got the right idea here, but
Yeah, Oscar says Adam sets the bar here in SoCal. We try our best to catch up to his pace.
Yeah. So, I said this about Kinwall. I made up some number, and guys that he knows, like Andrew Swanson, that were racing with him at the time, and like Jason Coral and all these guys, and they're like, "Hey, I don't think your number is that far off, considering there were times we raced 5 days a week, and Kinwald probably won 4 out of 5 times a week." And he's like, "We were racing off road, we were racing on road, um, 2 wheels, 4 wheels, whatever." And he goes, "I believe that guy probably won." Yeah, Justin Wild, he was our race director.
Okay. Justin
He-
says,
he
came in
ran the
late, loved the
race.
gaudy background. Northwest Highways with an amazing facility.
Yep, it was. So yeah, we make that up, but I'm sure Adam has ran just as many, or he's catching up in club races as Kinwald had, and there's nothing wrong with definitely those titles. You should really take it as a compliment.
And how could, like, I remember back in the day, Matt Francis was talking about, I think it was in Car Action, he was saying, like, yeah, it'd be cool if we can get a van together of us pro drivers together and tour the nation, just visit clubs and track, local. I mean, how cool would that be? Like, hey, Adam Drake's here today. It's like, damn, like you said,
Yeah, I mean,
emotion, help people out.
Yeah, I mean, what we, it's kind of interesting you brought that up. Keenan has a comment here. I was shocked Cole didn't win, but was not consistent. He should. Yeah, I think that's probably right. With Cole getting second at Nitro Challenge, he was definitely on a roll. Cole's obviously a guy that was leading the Nitro Challenge, so wouldn't be a shock to win the Northwest Arena Championships. But that just goes to show you how every race is different. You can never overlook any of your competition. And you look at, I believe they were just running a race in Georgia not long ago that Jackson Brunson won, and Cole was there. And I'm not sure if there was some kind of problem, or he had a car problem or something. But you just never know. Keenan says he should be winning these races, and he's probably right. One thing to consider is, I don't know if we want to come back to that, but yeah, one thing that I always kind of think of is it really should be credit. It should be a credit to the guys that are winning over and over again, more so than a knock on the guys that don't. It should be like, holy cow, these guys just continue to win. They figure out a way to get the job done, whether they're 40 years old or they're 30 years old or whatever it is. These guys that consistently get the job done, race after race, we should really be commenting on how they're having an amazing racing career, because that's really what it is. Because you have guys that should win, guys that have the talent, they have the support, they have the backing, they have the program, and they're still not getting it done. And yeah, it just shows you how difficult it is to win week after week. Everybody has their high. They're like, oh, I did this at so and so race, but is that their average? Is that their average finish? And it's tough to keep up with that. And Keenan says Jackson, he did well at PMB, which he did. I want to say he got like 7th in Pro Buggy or something like that, which you're getting close to that elusive top 5 that are kind of on lockdown.
Justin says, I've always been amazed at how top level guys can show up at random tracks without much. I've already mentioned this in the podcast once, without much local knowledge, with people expecting them to win, and somehow they perform each time. I'm amazed by it every single time. These guys can just go somewhere and then figure it out and be fast.
That was my favorite thing to do, was to do different tracks and locations and try to be a little diverse in what you're able to do, because that ultimately shows what you're capable of. And I always say these guys like the Mayfields and, throw whatever name at that level you want to throw in there. But to them, when I watch them race, it always seems to me like they feel like they're on their home track every time. Um, the When I watch them run, it looks like after one tank, two tanks on a nitro car, like they're ready to race, and it looks like they're on their home track. Where some people, like you mentioned, you were an awesome club racer at your home track, but then you would
I was
travel.
Captain Club.
Yeah. But you'd say you'd travel and you were kind of a little bit of a mess on a different track. And,
I was starstruck every time. What are you gonna do? Yeah, that was me.
yeah,
I enjoyed.
Justin has it nailed there for sure.
Yeah. Kean says Silver State and the Nationals will be very interesting.
It will. I mean, essentially, the Silver State, the Silver State will be kind of a Dirt Nitro Challenge level event with the competition. I think will probably be the same guys that were at DNC, so you give a chance to those guys can run it back on a different track. I know, we got some work to do there. We won one class the last time they were there. Spencer won e-buggy. I believe Mayfield got third in nitro buggy and maybe third or fourth in truggy, but we needed a little more speed there. So we've been working on some things, and it's going to be 2 years. I think we were there 2019. So, we got a couple more. We got a couple more bullets this time around that we didn't have before. So hopefully we can see if these guys can get it done there. I mean, tough track. Yeah, it's probably one of the coolest races to go to, but easily a tough track. Yeah, I hope so too, Keenan. The water, it's so dusty in there. I'm thinking it's just going to be the same it always is. I wish it wasn't so dusty, but just that Vegas dirt is, it's like powder. It's like that stuff that are on those donuts. What are those white donuts that are really good? You know what I'm talking
Powder
about?
sugar.
Yeah, those things are great.
Yeah.
But that's what the dirt reminds me of. You set your car out there, it's a poof,
And not Kean White, not that his podcast needs any more promotion, but No Name RC Podcast. If they always say that someone new every episode that you do, you get one new person listening or watching.
Really?
Yeah, I just heard that over the weekend. So maybe you don't know about the No Name RC Podcast. There you go. Kean does an excellent job with that.
Yeah, he's got that on lockdown. He's got
He does
a lot of great
job
content, great people that tune in with him and keep that thing rolling, which I'm sure
I love the name. I love it.
I'm sure at this point he knows the game well, and he's got a lot of time I'm sure he's putting in.
That was me. No name. A no name. Oh, here we go. Where do I go here? Kean. Oh yeah, Kean. Yep, no problem. Yeah, I guess there's some people out there. Kean says, "Thank you, Gotti. It started with this podcast, and yeah, like I said, 2012, and there was only one other podcast out there, and that's when you had to explain. It was hard to get driver's license. You had to explain what a podcast is, and then you had to explain to people how to listen to it, how to download it. Now it's everybody knows how to do it. So, what's that?
Nothing. Chris Trudeau. We saw him at the race. Remember I talked about that?
Oh yes, that's right. You mentioned to me in the chat. So guess who I saw out here? Real nice guy. supported the show since day one. There's a guy that's been around forever for the pod. Sending questions in, stuff like that.
To
How
me,
did Jason? Chris says, how did Jason view the layout in Albany versus 702? It looked sparse, but still offered a lot of challenge.
well, what I think
Whereas
is
702 looked like it was a busier layout.
yeah, I think that the difference is mostly the size of the tracks. I think 702 is a little deeper, and I felt like there was a little elevation on that track on the left side, and it was just all flat in Albany, and it was a little tighter. I think in general, if I was going to be racing modified, I probably would have um, been a little bit more. If I was racing modified at 702, I probably would have liked the little bigger track. I thought the bigger track would have been nice for modified, a little deeper with the elevated turn. But at Albany, man, I just put up a video on our Instagram, and if you get a chance, you should check this out. But it's Davey Bata running the third stock main 17.5 two-wheel buggy, and it looks so amazing going around the track. And if you didn't know it was 17.5, you would think it's full modified. It looks so fast. He's on it in every turn. He's nailing the jumps, and it looks great. And I think that track was probably a little better for stock, and probably the 702 might have been a little better for mod.
Will Britton says the track you were at last weekend was in a mall, right? What store used to be? What was the store again? You mentioned it earlier. Sears. Okay.
Yeah, it was
Sears were big. They were the anchor stores.
I believe it was 98,000 square feet was the building that they have there, and he told me he's got 13 tracks in there, which I didn't actually count them, but maybe there are 13. Yeah, I mean it's
Jason didn't take his word for it.
Like I don't see 13, but hey, hey, if there's 13 tracks in here,
hey, whatever.
I'm gonna go with it.
Pal.
I'm gonna go with it.
Oh man. If you get out there next time, count them. Let's see what you got there.
I'm like, really? 13 here.
Where they at? I don't see them anywhere. Where they at?
There's a bunch though. There is. They're behind like in different rooms. Like there's a drift track. There's a drift track that actually is probably the coolest looking room because they put graffiti artwork and everywhere in the room. So actually I'll send you that while we're talking so you can put it up behind you. But it's a cool looking track. I thought that was kind of the coolest looking one. I'm not sure where to stand in there, but
Nazar, man, I miss those Sears catalog days in the 80s. Those things, I used to look through the toy section trying to pick out my favorite toy for Christmas.
Oh yeah,
circle them or whatever and give them to your parents.
My dad used to call that the wish book.
Yep. We won't talk about the lingerie section. All right.
Isn't there a meme about that? This got it done in
1989. Yeah, I think. Oh, man. It got it done.
Look at this drift track. Pretty amazing. I'll send it to you here. Got all this technology. Let's see. Keenan is asking. I got a little froze up here. Yeah, it's frozen. He will be back. I guess I guess it's just me right now. But yeah, we missed those Sears catalogs as well. So we got Keenan talking about what young racer at the moment has the it factor. The it factor. Hmm. And if you can still hear me and everything, just type in that it's working because Gotti's net went down for a minute. The it factor. Okay, so it's working. Thanks, Justin. So the it factor. Well, what do you think? Are we talking about? Are we watching like really, really young, like into the stock 17.5 guys, or are we looking at, um, into the mod classes? Who's bumping up into those ranks? To me, you can see it in stock. Um, Matt Gonzalez, Davey Bata, as Justin Doyle commented. So, those guys are amazingly fast in stock right now, but that doesn't, they got to take it to mod if they want to, 10th and 8th. Uh, I don't know. I'm not sure who's breaking into the it level of 10 scale and 8 scale right now. I mean, obviously you can't really include guys like that are already there, right? I mean, I can't even think of somebody that's breaking into that upper level of 10 scale modified racing or yeah, he's looking for that Sears catalog. I can't even think of somebody. Um, I mean, and Kyle mentioned Matty G, which he is, but he's racing in the 17.5 class. So are we talking 17.5 or are we talking modified? Um, in 10 scale, um, Aiden Horn, he's kind of come up through the ranks recently. He's a guy that I think he got fourth at the Roar Nationals several years ago, but I would say just this year he's turned into being a pro. So Aiden Horn, I think, kind of made that step. He was another event that happened over the weekend, which was the April Fools, and he swept all three classes there. So I think that Aiden Horn's got to be at the top of the list in 10 scale. So, think about that. Um, guys like, there's the Drayton Staub and those kind of guys who've also turned in some good results here and there. But Tom Rinnerneck, they mentioned the Fullers. Um, yeah, Mason Fuller, Caden Fuller. We talked about them last week. Mason got third there at PMB and E-Buggy. So there's some people coming on. We mentioned Tom Rinnernick, Tyler Jones. I think that's a good a good one to point out. Keenan, but I mean, God, I mean, he's been around a long time already. Um, it's just they're not coming out of nowhere. I mean, man, Tyler Jones has been racing for us.
I'm back.
Tyler Jones has been racing for us for 10 years already. So they're not new. You can see that they've been around the game a long time. Tyler Jones got fifth at the Roar Nationals. What was that at the last Thornhill Nats, I think? So you can't just stumble into this and become a superstar right away. These guys have a ton of experience. I mean, even Aiden Horn, we're talking about him as being a great racer. But I mean, I don't know that there's anybody out there. I don't know if there's anybody out there that has any more indoor clay track driving experience than Aiden Horn because of his dad taking him around in Michigan in the Midwest. He has a ton of experience, maybe even more than the the Mayfields and Cavaliers who have raced on the West Coast. But I mean, you just don't get up into that level of you just don't get uh, that level of a driver without turning that many laps. I mean, but yeah, these guys that we're mentioning, the guys that I think of over in Europe are like Juan Carlos Canas. I always see him. I'm pretty impressed with his running. And in Italy, Barofalo. I think those two guys are probably the upcoming Italian racers. Of course, there's um, the other racer in Italy that won the Euros last time. I forgot his Berton. Um, he won the Euros, I believe, the last time they had it, and those guys are coming on. So you just don't come out of nowhere to be a top level pro driver. But if we separate these things out a little bit, I'd say that in 17, Ricardo Berton, I say that he's one of the three guys in Europe that is at that coming up level. He's not coming up; he's there. But the ones you think of are Ungaro and Ronafolk and Elliott Boots, and those are the guys you think about in Europe. But these guys are not far behind him anymore, especially after COVID. This is really going to shake things up because you got people that have probably been dipping out, trying to work on their game here and there, working on it. You got people in other countries that are more locked down than others, and maybe they can't get the wheel time the other guys do. So this is going to mix things up a little bit. Over here, like we said, the 17.5 classes, Matty G runs all these races. He's one of, if not the fastest 17.5 guy. And then you got Davey Bada throwing his name back in. He ran a little bit of mod and then he jumped back into 17.5. And now he's, like I said, watch that video on our Instagram. It's just amazing, him running that race. Got the whole 5 minutes, I believe, on there. So, that's the 17.5 crew, 13.5 crew, which are they might be the two largest classes in RC in the United States is 17.5 buggy, 13.5 four-wheel.
I'm here.
Guy's back.
I'm back. My net. Doyle's right. There is bad storms up here, and anytime that happens, my internet is real sketchy. So it might happen again. I think since StreamYard's recording, and maybe Keenan could back me up on this, I think everything, because you stayed on, so I think it'll record everything there. I should be able to edit that together for the audio version people, hopefully. That should be good. I'm glad it didn't kick you. I wasn't sure, and then Carrie.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I just was like, am I still here? I asked and they said, yeah, you're good. I'm like, okay, I'll keep going.
Yeah. Oh, well, what are you gonna do? That'll happen.
And John Bolton brought up Carson Sanders, which is Mike Saunders' son. Very young driver. I mean, we're talking about now we're really getting, into a young age group that you kind of could make predictions with. But there is no guarantees. I tell people this all the time that when Damon Borkowitz was racing with us, we traveled to races and he would race in Florida. People just thought it was a foregone conclusion that he was the next Ryan Mayfield. They just said he's 4 years old. That's when you got to start. Dakota started when he was 5, and Mayfield started when he was 6. So, yeah, and people just assume Damon Borkowitz was going to be the next Ryan Mayfield. He was going to be a world champion. He was going to be a national champion because he could drive when he was 9 years old. And he was an awesome 9-year-old racer. Really super mature on the track at 9 or 10 years old. he was probably the best driver. He got to be the best driver in Florida there for probably a little bit of a small span. But it was hard to turn the corner. It was hard to get to the next level, and he got to the level of being in the A qualifier at the Roar Nationals, being the top 10 guys qualifying together in a race where it's 40 deep. There might be 40 great two-wheel mod drivers at the Roar Nationals, and he would seed into that 8th, 9th, 10th spot, and then he'd have to run qualifiers with the best guys in the game. And when the intensity goes through the moon, or through the roof, to the moon,
Through the whatever.
through the moon,
It works. To the moon.
to
When
the
the
moon,
intensity goes to the moon.
to the moon.
There
So
you go.
yeah, it's amazing. And he was a very good driver, but I think he hit the point where he felt like he wasn't making that next step, and I think he kind of chose to get out of it from just putting your complete heart and soul on the line. And then he got into school. Now he's I think he's doing day trading, and he's like a Bitcoin master.
Oh, really?
I think, yeah.
I am. All right. Let's be real. We've covered
I mean,
girls.
you think about, so that was the Damon story. Then you think about like Mullen, who was racing
yeah.
in
Yeah.
Europe, and amazing racing talent, right? Like, these I'd never seen a female drive like she could drive that 4-wheel drive 10 scale buggy. She was legit at the Reedy race. She was legit at the European Championships, holding her own. And you just get but I don't know what exactly took her out of the game. What the real reason was that took her out of the game, but she was absolutely amazing as a young female racer, racing in the Reedy race and 4-wheel mod against the total badasses that we had out there, and she was holding her own. And but she's not in it anymore, so there's just no telling where any of these people are going to take it. Even if you have the talent,
Yeah.
which is the one thing you need.
Which I never had.
You have to have the talent, you have to have the desire and the discipline, and then you have to be able to do something with it. And I think that is where it just kind of stops. And what people don't realize is how obsessive you have to be at something to be one of the best. You have to be an absolute maniac. You have to have it all. You have to be all consuming. It's not part-time. It's not something you do for fun. It's something that you have to put it all on the line. And that's the difference. And if you do all that, there's still no guarantees. But you at least have to put that kind of effort in to give yourself a chance. I told somebody one time, we were at the Mugen Challenge last year, and they were asking me about getting better. And I was like, okay, so what time did you get here today? Oh, I got here about 10:30, 11 o'clock. It's like, all right, well, your competition was already here. You know what I mean? It's like the guys you're racing, the Spencer Rivkins, the Ryan Mayfields, they're already wrenching, and they're already world champions. So like, it's like you're behind the 8 ball already, and you're not even factoring that in. So people that are good at stuff are a little bit crazy. And I think that is what it all boils down to. The Michael Jordans, the Tom Brady's, these guys, the top RC guys, any top guys in anything. You're a little bit different. You're a little bit nuts, and you're overly competitive. You're probably a little bit of an asshole about it, or a little bit, but you're a little selfish. But that's how you have to be the absolute best at something. You don't be the absolute best at something by giving it away all the time.
I like what Will says here. Through the moon means it breaks through the moon and keeps going. Keeps going.
It does. That's where your talent goes. It just keeps going.
Yeah, there you go. Through the moon and into the other galaxy.
To me, when I was at my best in racing,
and when you broke through the moon,
and I wasn't that level. I wasn't at that level, but to me, when at the moment that you were starting to prep for a certain event, that's all you're thinking about. It's like those movies with like, Rocky or whatever, where they're doing the montages, and he's like punching the bags and he's like thinking about guys
before Vince McMahon fought Stone Cold Steve Austin. He went in total training mode. I sent that video to you guys.
So
it was great.
But that's all you're thinking about is what the goal is. You're thinking about, all right, I'm doing this work because I want to be in this place. And you know that from this point to all the way to get to that point, there are little steps along the way. And you're wrenching, you're thinking about what the race is going to be like, what the track is going to be like, what what your car is going to work like. Do you have your prep together? What tires? And then you start thinking outside the box. You start thinking, well, what if the track changes? Do I have my equipment set up for that? Do I have the tires for that? Do I have the setup for that down? And these are all the things that somebody that's obsessing over this and trying to win, that's where you're going with it. And I always knew that there was like a switch that you could, that would you, to me, what I was saying, what I was referring to, like we were at 702, you can tell when a guy decides to turn it up a notch, when you can tighten the screws a little bit. Like you might think it's tight all the way, but there's still a few more turns there, right? And the guys that are really good at stuff, they get it tight, right? They'll get it up tight, but then once another moment, or they get pissed off, or they want to take it up a notch, they tighten it even more, and it starts they start turning even more to the point where that thing, whatever it is, it's about ready to break.
Yeah,
then they're about ready to go then.
Yeah.
And when we do a lot of these races, when we do a lot of these events with somebody that's a competitor, you can tell when somebody is they're tightened up, but they're not tightened up all the way. And then once something sets them off, you can tell when they decide to take it that next little step. And that's just people's mentality in about that kind of stuff.
Justin Doyle says, I think the mental advantage these guys have is huge too, on top of their world-class talent.
Well, the way I always see that is when you've had a lot of success, your expectation now is to win. So, to me at my level, when I was racing, it's like whatever I'm expecting a certain result. Like, and in a guy like a Spencer or the Ryans or whoever you want to call at the time, they know what they're capable of, and they have set their mental, they've set their mind to the fact that, okay, what I'm looking for here is X finish. I know I can get there because I've been there before. And that's the mental advantage they have, is they know that they've done it. So they can recall that. And that's a big mental advantage.
Justin Doyle over at another podcast you can listen to, RC Race City RC podcast, and Allison, our very own Allison Rona, was on there.
Yep,
recently. Where am I at here on this?
I always say that, like, when we would run our competitive club races back in the day at Lake Park. That was our most competitive club racing scene. All the fast guys in Florida would basically run every weekend. And I always, if I was on the track in the race, or we were running a larger event or something, and I lost, or I knew what I was going to lose in that race, but I knew the next weekend was going to be better already. Like I just knew it was going to have a positive effect on the following event. And it's like when sports, like when they say like, oh, so and so's never lost back-to-back games, or they're always harder to beat back-to-back. They start talking about things like that, and that's how this is.
Kean says these top guys know how to win when things aren't 100%, and that's mental. Is that, in my humble opinion, not giving up, digging deep, willing your car to do well? I tried willing my car to do well.
How'd it go?
It just it didn't do well. At like I said, local track, I was awesome. I was unbeatable. Where's Bruce Campbell? He could back me up on that. Unbeatable. The drive, the desire. I had everything to bring home that points championship. I love racing for points.
I remember taking the results sheet. I think it was auto score from the weekend, from a weekend before or another race. Mm-hmm. I'd get the printout. They'd put them on the board back then. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd just steal it off the board.
Right. Because you couldn't take a picture.
And I'd bring it home. Absolutely. And I would put it next to my, next to the bed. So if I needed a reason to get more fired up again, or to be mad, I would check out the results. Be like,
this is amazing, because we did the same thing, dude. I did the same thing. Ripped it off the board, and I put it right in my, at my workstation in my bedroom. I had this little desk there, and I worked on my car, and I had it right there. Mm-hmm. Especially if I lost a race, I was just like, man, I got to get my points back, Mm-hmm. Loved it. Where was I at here?
Yeah, I mean, what Keenan's saying, you had it up.
Yeah.
Mentally digging deep. What I think it is when you're running these events and these mains, especially, when you got that kind of talent, like the guys at the top, you have to give you got to give yourself a chance to win. Whereas I see people that kind of have the wrong focus sometimes, where they take themselves out of it before it even starts. So if you have a 45-minute race, mm-hmm. and you get a decent start,
45 minutes.
Yeah, like a Nitro main,
Yeah, I know. I can't imagine. I don't know how those guys.
You get a decent start, you're in the game, right? Like you're in the top 3 or 4, you're in the game. And now it's about what you do from there on out, whether you're going to be in it or not. If you get into a good start going, and you decide to pass somebody too early, you decide to take some chance on a jump, you decide to do something so crazy that it just takes you right out of the game. Now you're back in 12th, battling with these other guys that, it's just going to be a scramble. You're done. You're like, you've blew your chance. And these guys that are the best, they realize, okay, that was what I needed. I got the start I wanted. Now let me try to do something with it. And sometimes things come to them. Sometimes a guy has an issue. Sometimes you're just faster. And so that's what I see with the guys that are good and experienced. I guess it's being a fast driver and a great driver. So Joe Pillars, what's up, guys?
Joe Pillars in the house. And Justin says, how about Joe Pillars' run this weekend?
He was fast all weekend, and he was helping a lot of people, which was great to see. He was helping people not only on his teams, but other teams, and he was helping the track. He was running practice, taking photos. See you, Keenan.
Keenan checking out. See you in Vegas, he says.
Yeah, Joe was awesome. He bumped up to the main. He was the one car that bumped out of the B to the A. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, Brent chased me down forever in the 7-minute main. That was pretty.
What happened there,
first-
Jason?
I got a terrific start. I was second qualifier. Brent, I don't know. Paul was trying to explain to me because he was watching the video. I haven't rewatched it, but he thought that Brent went over the double at the middle, either jumped it a little long, was a little wide. I went inside, and then we were going to the next turn. We actually hit. Brent and I hit. Brent got the worst of it, and I was in the lead. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going because I know Brent's going to catch up to me because he was a couple tenths faster all weekend. So I'm in the lead and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to do what I know that I can do, which is low 13-second laps, dip into the 12s a little bit here and there on a good lap, and just try not to give this completely away. And I kind of did that for the most part. And at the end, because we ran a 7-minute main, at the end of the 7 minutes, I got a little sketchy and cased a couple jumps, got in a little bit of traffic, and pretty soon Brent was close. And I was like, ugh. And then I just jumped into the other lane. Like in front, like there's a triple. And I like jumped into the other lane and Brent got by me. I was like, oh man, 2 laps to go. I couldn't have held the lead for 2 more laps. But
Shoot.
I tried to do exactly what I wanted. I tried not to go over my head. And it really was working out in my advantage because Brent was having some trouble in the back. But then I think with maybe about 3 minutes to go, 3.5 minutes to go, he got clear of the traffic and he just was motoring and he made up a ton of time. And it seemed like if I cased a jump, it seems like he'd make up like a half a lap. It was like, you know what I mean? Like that's what it felt like. I was like, oh, I got this jump a little wrong, and pretty soon it looks like he's right there. I'm like, oh god. So yeah, I kind of thought I was going to win there for a little while. I was like, you know what? I think I got this because Brent had a couple more issues with crashes and some traffic, and I was like, man, I think I'm going to get this. And maybe if I wouldn't have jumped that triple in the other lane, maybe I still would have won, but it would have been close. There was a lot of tough things on that layout. There was a lot of real tough things on that track that, for me, the toughest section was they had a little angle double, then a 180 with a little single jump coming on the straightaway. Those are the toughest sections for me. Because if you did it right, it was much faster. But when you did it wrong, the error, the room for error, or the time you cost yourself was huge. And I was just being really conservative there, trying not to ruin it. The triple in front, I think, was easy to clear. The problem is on the driver's stand on a track like that, you're right on top of the triple. And then
I am right here.
Yeah, well, that is the jump right there.
Yeah.
That's the triple. So, yeah, like when I flew off the track or into the other lane, it wasn't into the driver's stand; it was the other way. But, yeah, that triple jump. What ended up happening there is when you're driving, and I'm sure Joe, if he's still watching, depending on where the other drivers were, their radios, their arms could block you. So it was pretty tough. Tough little triple there. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Jason was going this way, but then went this way.
Yeah.
And Brent just went.
Yeah, he was gone.
I can see the car now just going. Choked.
It was.
Where was I at?
Justin.
I love this comment here by John Bolton. P Main auto score sheet. I was taking. That's what I was doing. The famous P Main. Make fun of me all you want. I want it.
with that help from Joel Johnson.
Joel
though.
Johnson. How many,
Helps you with that
how
setup.
many people can say Joel Johnson rebuilt their diff for him and car and basically the whole car? It was a mess.
You know who I built a diff for once at a race?
Kenwell?
Masami.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow. I was gonna. Masami was probably like, "Oh man, look what Jason's doing over there. Just let him do it, Dad. We'll correct it when he's
Just-
done."
We'll pretend like we're switching it out, and we'll use the
Yeah,
other one that we had.
Let's just make Jason happy, okay? Justin says Gotti's keeping up with the latest issue of Apparel.
He is.
I am. My boy Jason's hooking me up. All right, where are we in this?
So
your, list here?
the next
Because you got Allison waiting.
the next event is the Super Cup this weekend at Newberry RC.
How did we do at LCRC?
Oh, that was another event that was going on. Their
Yeah.
season opener. What's the 50 for? Justin Doyle says 50. Well, anyway, LCRC season opener. Joe Bornhorst did TQ both classes. He went out there with Spencer Heckert, and it looked like Joe won e-buggy, but Spencer Heckert won nitro buggy. So that was the two results I saw.
Okay.
That is a tough track too. Wait till that Roar Nationals. Whew.
Yeah.
You got to have your A game together for that track. Basically, all any of these tracks, they're all hard. I mean, the track I was just on, that carpet track. I mean, I was trying to explain to you the triple and the two. I mean, that was difficult, and I mean, you're not even getting into Silver State, how tough that. I'm sure that'll be. It's just tough racing. There is just no. There's just no easy tracks. There's no easy way to do it. That was it. Oh yeah, Super Cup this weekend at Newberry RC Park.
Mm-hmm.
Bring it out. There it is.
Okay. Vin checking in saying, "So pumped my kid made it to both A mains this weekend at LCRC."
Did we were talking about his name last week, Manchanda, isn't that what we said?
Yeah, Manchanda.
So yeah, Super Cup this weekend. That's going to be good. I'm sensing if our weather looks good, I'm sensing that we're going to have a record turnout. I believe we're going to have a record turnout for this season. I think we're going to have a good one. So if you're in the Southeast, just 2-wheel mod, Adam. I saw that you said you're coming. Are you actually coming, or are you just kind of joking?
So you're running one class?
Yeah, 2-wheel mod.
Okay.
I can't race 4 like Chris Van Air. He's a maniac. And he has tires on everything. Everything's ready. Look at Adam Rails. He's coming to Newberry. Where are you flying into? Jacksonville? Better tell Paul you need a pit spot.
Yeah. Take Jason's.
So after that, oh look, only 3 classes though for Adam.
Okay.
Oh, he's flying in Tampa. All right. I like it. Travel. We got travel guys coming in for the Super Cup. Okay, and then the weekend after. Okay, good. Paul already knows, he said. The weekend after, the INS at Setzer's. Coming up quick, but I think this is going to be a good race too. I'm supposed to be racing.
Oh, 3 in a row.
That's my hope. By the time I get to the 3rd race, maybe I can drive a little consistent.
Yeah.
When I was in the track you're at there now, when I was there at Northwest Hobbies, one qualifier, I would do great. The next one, I'd get 23 laps. 23 laps, 508. Then I run another qualifier, 21 laps.
Oh,
I was just super inconsistent. So I got to get my consistency up. So yeah, Super Cup. Then we'll do the INS at Setzers. We got Dakota coming in. We got Dustin Evans. We got Cole Tollard coming in. We got Spencer Rivkins coming in. Of course, Lee Setzer. He's the local. We got Julian. We'll have Paul. Yeah, he needs to tune in. My Justin Doyle's joking that I need to get Mayfield to tune in my M17. He's definitely right about that.
too many settings.
Adam Rails could stay a whole week and run both races. Just take that time off, man. Come on, run both races. Yeah, Matt Olson, he'll be there. He's going to be doing the Mod Live Media at Setzers. I'm pretty pumped. Pretty pumped about these races we got going on right now. I mean, everything, all these events have been great. I mean, the one I just went to in Oregon, the drag race at Garlitz. Look at that, Cole Tollard. See that?
There he is.
He'll be there. There you go, Adam. Run both races. Perfect. You're off work. Let's do it. Yeah, the Drake at the Northwest race, Super Cup, INS at Setzers. And then this weekend, this weekend we got the Exact Challenge, which is a new race at OCRC. So that's actually happening this weekend. This would normally be the weekend we would have our stock nationals at OCRC, but they've kind of replaced the event in a way with this Exact Challenge. That's Danny Stojakovic's company, Exact. I think his partner's Robert. And they wanted to put on an event. OCRC was game, as they always are. And they're going to do this Exact Challenge. And that's going to be a big one at OC this weekend. So we're going to have Super Cup stuff going on, Exact Challenge stuff going on. So we'll see who's got their game together at OC this weekend.
Adam says you need to convince his girlfriend, and he'll fly back down for INS.
That's fine.
Put her on the line.
Yep, I've heard we got another driver going to the Exact race. Mayfield's making he's gonna make his appearance. Look at Ronnie.
Ronnie Rivkin. I'll be at those races on screen. All right.
Okay, Adam, I'll talk her into it.
Oh, okay. So there you go. All right.
Yeah, Mayfield hitting the Exact race this weekend. He's been off for a little while because of the birth of his new baby girl. So he's got a new Cashlin. So they got Cashlin Mayfield. So he's going to get out and get to run the Exact race this weekend. And then, of course, he'll be at Silver State. So he's looking to – he said, you know what? I don't want to go to Silver State without having ran in a couple weeks. So he's like, I'm going to go cut my teeth at OCRC. And he's like, either get my butt kicked or do some butt kicking. One way or another, something's getting kicked. Who from the team is at Exact? Well, Spencer's going. Mayfield's going. I don't think Dakota is going. But like the guys we talked about earlier, the Matty G's, Davey Bata, all those guys will be there. Our normal locals like Jake Thayer. I mean, we got a lot of drivers that'll be there. Brock Champlin's going to go there. You know, we talked about him all the way at the top, winning both classes here in Oregon on carpet. Now let's see what he can do on the dirt.
Justin says also, Gotti, what event will you come back at after being off?
Vintage Nats.
Gotti, what event you be? Nationals. We're going right for the Nationals.
Yeah, you should just sign up for Roar Nats at LCRC. Nitro Buggy.
Oh man.
Jubert will let you borrow a car. Where's
Yeah,
he?
you
He's
can't-
not on here.
Yeah, I don't know. Pretty disappointing. Jubert.
He must have something to do tonight. Will Britton, he's mounting up tires for the Hobbyplex. He's getting ready. Captain Club race.
Spring, the Hobbyplex Spring Champs
Mm-hmm.
this weekend.
Is that the Techno event? Which is that the Techno race? When's that one?
You asking me or Britain? Yeah.
Cole Tollard, he was another guy up here. We saw him earlier. He won the race that happened at Trackside a couple weeks ago. I mean, it seems like a month ago, but it was probably 2 weeks ago. He won 2-wheel and 4-wheel mod at his track there at Trackside. So, oh, that's what it was, Will, the Pro Tech race. Okay. So it's not a club race. This is the real deal here.
Just make sure you have those RIP logos on, Will.
Wouldn't want to have Gotti come down on you.
That's right.
So yeah, we got that INS, and then we got a week break, and the Silver States, beginning of May. I wonder how long before Will Britton is 40 years old. He could battle Alex in 40 plus too.
40 plus. Justin Doyle says that apparel is for travel issue only, guy.
Well, he is traveling. Look at that track.
Yeah, I know.
Nice
What
hobby.
are you talking about, Justin? It was a one-way ticket Jason got me. I have no way to get back home.
To paradise.
Kyle says he'll take care of Will for me.
Ooh. Well, we know Kyle races in the 40 plus. He always does really well. Got to get Will in there pretty soon.
Yeah. Will says he started smoking to age faster so he can run 40 plus sooner.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that was a great idea. You could try crack cocaine sometime too. It speeds up the process. Okay. Well, there you have it. 224. And yeah, it was good. Hopefully we'll catch you next week and get the lowdown on what happened at the Super Cup.
Super Cup and the Exact. We'll have some good results there.
Yeah. See how
Will's only 31 years old.
God, I hate him. I'm becoming that grumpy old man. I'm hating these people that are younger than me. Yeah, exactly, John. John Bolton says 31. What a punk kid. Are you going to the I got a lot of comments coming in. Are you going to the Nats warm-up?
We haven't decided yet.
When's the Nats warm-up?
Let's look.
Got to be coming up.
They just posted, I think, today what the date is. Let me check it out here.
Tanya says her boyfriend wants an AARP class.
20 to 20.
We're all going to need that soon. Yeah. What's that, Jason?
It's May 20 through 23rd.
All right. So you guys going to that? But they'll just change the track anyway.
Yeah, it's an entirely different track, but
so go there and get dirt samples, I guess. Yeah, Vin checks in here. May 21st through the 23rd. There you go, Jason.
Yep. Making sure it's in my.
Will, it's called Get Off My Lawn. Get off. Hey, you kids, get off my crabgrass.
War
John
National
qualifies for the AARP class. There you go.
So what is AARP exactly in terms of
That
age?
retirement.
So just full,
don't know,
like
it's,
full retirement?
I think it
Like
is. I think,
60, 62, 65.
yeah, I don't know what it is.
Gonna have to have Kirby bring out that GoPro to
And mount it to a wheelbarrow and roam it around the Nats warm up track. But it's not going to be the same layout. So we'll just go there and get dirt samples for the Nationals.
you're gonna get some samples.
Because the dirt's not going to change. So we'll go get dirt sample. I should have did it this weekend, but I did
That
not.
would have been a lot smarter, yeah.
I've let you down again.
Well,
It's not the
it'll
first.
be okay. Will he be racing when he's 65?
Guaranteed. Well, first of all, he's not going to probably make it to 65.
Oh, with all that smoking.
Oh, he's smoking. Yeah, he's smoking. Smoking.
There you
Yeah, right. There you go. Even if I live that long, right?
All right. So,
I won't be making 65 either, so don't worry. And I don't even smoke. Oh, okay. Here we go. John says AARP, they start sending you shit the day you turn 50.
damn. We're all a lot closer to that than I think.
Good Lord.
Like to admit.
Yeah. All right. Well, we can go on forever here. I appreciate everybody joining us for 224. Hopefully we'll get together soon. Maybe it's next week. Whenever. We definitely want to do the Commando watch along because that's our favorite movie, Jason.
I'm sure several people will want to join in on that.
Yeah, it'll be fun. And you can listen back and watch a movie and whatever. That'd be good. So best of luck to everybody this weekend racing. Kick some ass. Make sure you're flying the RIP logo along with the J Concepts logo.
I had numerous people talk to me about the podcast over the weekend up there, and we're
Great.
big. We're big in the Pacific Northwest.
We are actually. I actually checked that little map out, and I was like, "Damn, quite a few listeners up there."
Yeah.
Now we know we got a listener in Malaysia. Everybody's talking about the AARP in the comments section. Okay, there you have it, guys. 224. Jason, any last words there before we?
I don't think so.
Send off here.
If you're in the Southeast,
right,
come to our race at Setzers.
This weekend.
Well, if you want to do Super Cups, fine, but definitely try to make it to Setzers. We want to sell that. We want to sell that race out.
I like this, Jay. We should end the show like John says here. Show over to the Choppas. Yep. Get to the Choppas. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody joining us. We will catch you for 225. Hopefully next week we'll squeeze it in there. So busy schedule coming up, but trying to get these out for you. So.
And thanks everybody for joining us in the comments. That really adds.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Adds to it. Definitely makes it instantaneous, a little bit more personal. So,
yeah. I saw Chad Eubanks in there earlier. I have to thank that guy. He's been a day one supporter of the podcast and always logo everywhere.
Yeah, he's hardcore, man. He gets it done.
Yeah. All right. Show over. Get to the Choppa, Jason.
I'm on my way right now.
We'll see you guys next time.
Cletus Snow. You signed up. Thanks.
Oh, cool. There you go. All right, guys. We'll see you.